So this is my first attempt at a screencast to help you understand our assignments. This particular assignment on educational development plans is coming up quickly, and I'll share with you why in just a moment. First, let's go into our Blackboard site, and we're going to go into the assignment section and scroll down to the assignment specific for the practicum experience. And when you get here, you can read through this description, and one of the things that it discusses is the fact that educational development plan completion is going to be one of the components for this particular assignment. You can read through this little section here. One option is going to be presented through me. That's what I mean by in class. However, I'm also mindful that some of you have access to students and may be able to work with folks in your school, perhaps a school counselor who coordinates educational development planning, and perhaps they've already done education development plans this year, but there may have been some students who are absent, so you might meet with them and update educational development planning, and that's okay. Whatever the case is, here's the opportunity that I'm providing for those of you that don't have that access. And it's going to be able to happen online. Dan Van Tassel is a graduate of our counseling program, and I've provided a summary in this email of a conversation we had recently, and I was able to visit. And there is a link to Career Cruising, which they use for this educational development planning process, and we'll be able to connect with Dan to provide some support for educational development planning with specific students. And we'll arrange that in probably the last 3 weeks of May. And it will involve the opportunity to go through and set up appointments and meet with students online. Those of you who may be close to Grand Rapids can also meet face-to-face. Here is a link under course documents about educational development plan fundamentals. And you'll notice when you looked at the description, 5 hours are related to setting up appointments and also learning the educational development planning process. And so what you can see here is a summary of the law for EDPs. And it goes through and specifies what the development looks like. Again, you're educating yourself is part of the practicum experience. So this document is one way for you to go about doing that. And we're not going to read through it in this podcast in detail, but I'm just highlighting a few things, including essential elements of EDPs. The timing is hidden here. What happens after your educational development plan is written, how IEPs factor in transition plans with educational development plans and EDPs. There are also some samples available on the michigan.gov website for you to take a peek at. When you open this document in the course documents section, this is provided from the Kent Intermediate School District, and it's a summary of the career planning stages, the EDP elements, the grades that you would start those elements, as also when it's reviewed, some examples of where it might be included. So that's there for you as well. This link provides you another summary of the Michigan Career Development Model, which was recently released, and it provides some important information to think about in terms of students' career development. In the state of Michigan, folks are well aware of the fact that we're not just going to school to go to school, we're going to school to prepare for contributing in some way, shape, or form to post-secondary training. So that's available for your review as well. As I'm typing in here the website for Career Cruising, you remember from Dan's link that content information is provided. I do have my own account though, so I'm going ahead to sign in to show you what Career Cruising looks like. And this is if you're working with Dan's students at the Covenant House. If you're going to be working in your own setting, you're going to want to find out what that particular district or what your district uses for EDPs for that process to help inform that process. So you can see various sections that are provided here in terms of my saved careers that I went through when I was playing with this. And again, You're familiarizing yourself with whatever the EDP process is part of your practicum experience. 10 hours are required for you to connect directly with students throughout this experience. And so that will look a little bit differently. We'll work out how we'll make that happen with your time, time spent practicum experience. If you have any questions about this, certainly give me contact me. And here's how the experience will be assessed. And you can see that I'll have you connect back to the ASCA mindset and behavior standards. And again, here's a summary of the way that you'll spend the different practicum hours related to this experience, and so that you get a good handle on what educational development planning is all about. Look forward to seeing what you come up with for this particular assignment.